The new Radiomaster TX15, and I'm breaking the cardinal sin of drone racing. Never change your controller right before a big race. But I'm so excited about this TX15. I've never flown it in real life, and we'll see if I can improve my GQ time or not. Ivon doesn't like it.
The Radiomaster TX15, if you've ever wondered, how can I choose between the flagship TX16S or the beautiful, portable, powerful Boxer? Now this is as if those two attended a Coldplay concert together, left in shame, but ended up somehow making it and having this love child, because it brings together a lot of the best features of both of these. It has an almost identical form factor to the Boxer, but make no mistake, this is not just a Boxer with a color screen. There is a lot of upgrades in here, most notably the new AGO2 gimbals. That's right, this is a new gimbal. It is full stick size, but there have been some advancements in order to potentially get you some more smoothness. Now, it still has the same adjustments as the AGO1, but if you take apart the back and look at it, the entire radio is a redesign. This has an H7 processor on board. So along with that full color screen, you also get touch inputs, just like the big brother right here. And it made it a breeze for setting up a new radio. You know when you're setting up your arm switch and your mode switch and your turtle mode switch and all those things, instead of having to scroll like a caveman in order to pick out each letter, you can actually just tap it on the screen and type. It was so nice. Themes in order to get your radio interface looking exactly the way that you want it. And I even put a little Johnny 5 splash screen on there, pre-installed with these LED addressables in here. You can now finally fully configure the pattern and the color of the LEDs, and you can also switch them off. A lot of people will ask me about my Boxer. This is the radio I've actually been competing with the last few years. Why is it that your radio is blinking? Why does it only have one light on there? Well, I wish there was an easy ability to be able to switch this radio off, because sometimes when you're flying in an area, there's a lot of mosquitoes. What that does is just attract a ton of mosquitoes onto your fingertips while you're trying to have the most concentration that you've ever had in your life, and it's really difficult to fly. So I took the radio apart, took one of the LEDs out of the socket. That's the only way to deactivate it back then.
Turn the light off.
I found if I took both of them off, all the mosquitoes would just fly directly onto your face. But this one allows you to turn them off completely at will, change the color. You could even have these LED settings model specific, so you could have a different color for Crossfire, a different color for ELRS, different quads. That way you know which quad I'm flying if you had different setups on each. And you can even have different flashing patterns. This is one where it just kind of goes through different gradients slowly, and I really, really like it. The other notable thing on here, a very nice adjustable antenna. Some people have made mods to be able to do this, but check the action on this antenna out. It just goes to the side if you want to fly long range, or it goes like that, or it flaps all the way down. Now, if you put these radios side by side next to each other, the Boxer and the new TX15, you'll actually see that the TX15 is just a few millimeters taller and a few millimeters thinner front to back. But what ends up making it quite a bit smaller is this antenna on the top. This is fixed, so when you put it in the bag, you're not looking at the height of the top of the radio, you're looking at the height of this. This ability to flip it down means that you don't have to take this off in order to put it into your bag. You can just leave it on there, which is perfect for the lazy pilot like me. Now, why did they name this the TX15 instead of some other new name? Like, you know, they named the Boxer, and I think it's because to indicate that this is also a flagship model. I don't know what the cost of this TX15 is going to cost, so I do like the 15. Now, if you've ever been to a 15, if you're lucky enough to have some Mexican friends, a 15 is another word for a quinceañera, which is a special party where people throw when their daughter is turning 15, and they will spend about as much money as a large wedding. But if you're lucky enough to get invited to one of those parties, they're almost always open bar, and if they're not, they're BYOB, bring your own bottle to the party. So don't skip out if you ever get that invite. Being able to fly with this radio is almost as fun as going to one of those parties.
Now look at Ivon.
Yeah.
Ivon's using DJI for the qualifier?
Hell yeah, man. That's the best.
Does it look good?
It does. It looks awesome.
So are
Makes
you
me
going to
smile.
be, if DJI decides to sponsor the live stream, will you convert to all your quads DJI?
Yes. If they sponsor with the gear, I will, yeah.
All right.
And to this radio.
DJI.
DJI gotta sponsor me this radio.
Yeah, DJI, make a DJI
I'm holding radio like this. It's not even in camera.
because it's the...
Oh, yes, it's a microphone.
What do you think of this radio?
I got one too, and I think I'm gonna switch to this radio. The sticks are lower than on Boxer. It's the same size as Boxer. The switches are lower than Boxer, and they even provided to switch this button to the switch.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm gonna
You
do
don't
for
have to
sure.
use your soldering iron.
Yeah, yeah. The screen is pretty bright, but Johnny 5 still has this little thing. And if I do this, it makes Johnny 5 nervous.
I gotta keep it preserved in
Yeah.
case one day.
You know what, guys? I don't really switch radios too often. When this GX12 came out, this checked a lot of the boxes for me. It had great battery life. It had great new style gimbals. It had great everything, and it had a really nice, very portable form factor. But you know why I didn't switch to this is because it has a different gimbal size. It's slightly smaller. It's bigger than, of course, something like the Pocket right here. It's bigger than the Zorro, but it's still not quite full muscle memory. I need full size in order for my muscle memory that I've been cultivating for nearly 10 years to be intact. This is it. I also really like, at least on this Max model, the LEDs come pre-installed, so it shifts the gimbal a little farther down into the radio. That's something that I always end up having to do. I had to purchase and install the LED kit on here, mostly because I wanted my gimbals further down into the radio. One, that makes them more protected when you put them inside of your bag. Two, it just feels fantastic so that you still have that full stick throw, but that your thumbs are not so high off of the controller. I just love it. Speaking of recessed, look at what they've done here. These are full-size switches, but they have recessed them just a little bit at an angle into the radio, so they don't stick out nearly as much as every other radio on this table. So when you put it into a bag, or you have it on there, or somebody bumps it, you're so much less likely to cause some damage. And I just love the fact that they've done that.
I did try it for a few hours on the Thursday night FMV simulator race last night. There was 50 people, and I managed to finish 14th place, which is really good for me. There's a lot of strong competition in those simulator races, so anyone near the top 10 is a success. And man, this thing is feeling good. It is not taking away from any of the muscle memory that I've cultivated over the last 10 years. And so far, I'm within a second of beating my time that I set originally at International Open. This is my second time flying this track. Let's see if I can beat my time using the TX15.
Now, this does have the same buttons on the top. They actually feel a little bit better than the Boxer. They're slightly less spongy, but a lot of people are still not going to like that. So the Max does come with a kit in order to switch those shoulder buttons to actual switches, and you can also purchase additional 3-position switches if you would like to convert any of the 2 positions to 3-position, which is kind of nice. You know, Ivon famously took a soldering iron, melted a hole, and installed his own switch. You don't have to do that. It actually comes with separate buttons with even the little red nut thingies to go over them, so it'll look nice and clean. I only use 4 switches, so this is perfectly fine for me. I'm not going to be installing that, but for those that do like to have 6 switches or more, it's really nice. I also like that you can program the 6-position sensor up here. You could also do this in the GX12 to have a different light for every single button that you put, and by default they're colored kind of like this. This is awesome for anybody that does team racing or that wants to have multiple quads available to go, and the click of a button you can switch it. There's some ELRS and VTX programming that you could do. It has a full-size battery bay, so you will be able to fit the large Radiomaster 6200 milliamp hours, and it does not come with this. You have to purchase it separately, but I have a couple of these floating around. I always take a spare with me to competitions in case I need to swap in a battery, and it fits totally fine. This is a different battery cover than the Boxer though. I actually wanted to put my clear Boxer battery cover on here and it won't fit. It looks very similar, but it's not exactly the same one. So just FYI in case anyone is curious about that. Of course, like all Max products, it has the very nice CNC milled rolly things. I forgot what these rolly things are called. And the nice rolly jog wheel thing, all metal, all very legible. This CNC'd aluminum faceplate custom Johnny 5 edition radio is probably the nicest radio that I will ever own. But if you were to buy one of these today, how much would it cost? $600, $800? It's crazy. But when you're traveling to events and you need to go into a bag, and guess what? Southwest doesn't allow you free check bags anymore. So that space in your bag is at a premium. So I want to be able to travel with something a little bit smaller, not this small, and give up my muscle memory. This allows you to have the form factor of the Boxer, the full featured functionality of the TX16. And that's why the TX15 could be your ticket to party. What do you think in the comments, guys? How do you like this thing? This is going to be my new radio. I'm going to be flying the Global Qualifier tomorrow. This is what I'm going to take with me.
Well, guys, that totally worked. I was able to improve my Global Qualifier time for the summer GQ from 42.6 all the way down to 41.5-ish seconds. So about a second improvement, all from using the TX15. It's the only difference. Using the same quads, the same props, the same batteries, everything was the same. The only thing that was different was this. I did crash one heat so hard into a gate that I killed an HD0 90 camera and a Race V3 VTX and an antenna. I'm hoping the motors in the stack are still good on that quad, but we will see when we get home. But for now, we can celebrate improving the GQ time by over 1 second. Improved by over 1 second just because of this radio.